This is a little bit of, if you like, armchair psychology based upon Freud. And Freud, forgive me if you know anything about psychology, but Freud saw the individual made up in this way, these concentric circles help us identify how an individual is and behaves. The central one is called the id, this outer one, the ego, and the furthest outer one, ego. The furthest outer one is called the superego. What Freud felt was that the id was the very essence of a person, the very essence of what they are, and that this never changed, and there are elements of this that they actually never shared outside of themselves. But there were elements of it that they were prepared to share with their closest family, closest friends and things like that, their loved ones. And then there's a lesser element that they were prepared to share with the outer world. Well, we see organisations very much in the same way, in that groups of individuals come together and they form a sort of id, which we interpret as being culture. Now, if we can find a way of expressing what that culture or id is, and find a way of communicating it through the closest communications and through to the outer world, all of the communications in this sphere are going to be far more authentic and far more effective in communicating what is valuably different, what the unique bits of that organisation are. And looking at it from the other way, you could argue that from an organisation's point of view and their communications, this outer ring is like cosmetic marketing, advertising, things like that. And that this inner circle is like conceptual marketing. So this is where the marketing has a proposition, not necessarily connected with the id in this instance, and that this bit in the middle, the culture or the brand, or the id, is arguably the brand. And so if we can find a way of communicating that through conceptual and cosmetic marketing, both these will have far more authentic meaning, far more engagement, far more motivation than they would do if they weren't connected with the id or culture of the organisation. And so that's where we start with organisations, with their id. Now sometimes we only work with companies on this basis. Nevertheless, we try to bring some of this meaning to it. Sometimes we only get as far as the conceptual marketing. Again, we try to bring to it some of the id. Our ideal clients we actually work with on the id, find an expression of what the brand is, what the culture is, and then we're usually given the opportunity to apply that to both conceptual and cosmetic marketing.